Hey guys, it's Janelle here. Hope you're having an awesome day. Today's video is all about my top vegan food hacks, or kitchen hacks, whatever you want to call them. I have been plant-based for quite a few years now, and I feel that I have learned a handful of very useful tips and tricks and hacks that have helped me a lot in the kitchen. I've saved a few bucks with these tips, saved some food, saved my sanity a few times. But really, I hope that by the end of this video that you've learned something that you didn't know before. Maybe you won't. Maybe you already know all these things. And if that's the case, well, good for you. I mean that's great. Some of these things are kind of common knowledge by now in vegan culture. But honestly, for those who are new to eating plant-based and vegan, a lot of these tips may be brand new to you. And that's why I made this video, so that hopefully these will help you out in the kitchen. Here we go. Let's talk about my top vegan food hacks. This one is for all of you herb lovers out there. I love buying fresh herbs like mint and cilantro, and oftentimes though in the past I have not been able to use up all of my herbs before they've started to go bad. But there's something you can do to prevent them from getting all wilty, and this is what you do. Snip off the last inch of the stalks of your herbs and then just submerge them into a glass of water. It's really easy, like so. Plop them in a glass of water, just like you would a fresh bouquet of flowers. And you can just leave these right on a bright windowsill. You don't have to refrigerate them. If you're in a really, really warm climate, they might get kind of wilty on your countertop, so keeping them in the fridge has always worked well for me. But if you don't have room in your fridge, then yes, countertop, windowsill is a great option. These will just suck up the water like a flower would, and they will stay nice and crisp and fresh probably for up to a week or more. That has definitely saved many a bunch of mint for me in the past few years. Same goes for cilantro. Smells so good. Now most of them, when you buy herbs, they come with the little twist tie. You don't have to take off the twist tie. It in fact actually kind of helps to keep it bundled up better. But if you want to, you totally can. Ploppity plop. Your little glass of water, and there you go. Fresh herbs for weeks and weeks. Another quick tip, I guess you could call it a sub-tip about mint, is that you can actually propagate your mint in water. Propagate means to just like regrow. I have done this before and I was successful, and it's been a couple years, but I started doing it again with some mint that I bought from the grocery store. All you have to do is save the top maybe 1 to 2 set of leaves on your mint stalk, and then again just snip off just a very small amount from the bottom and stick it in a glass of water, and again leave it by a sunny windowsill, and it will most likely start to root within maybe up to a week or two. I've had these in here, well, I add to it almost every day. I'm always buying more mint, which hopefully I won't have to after propagating all these little babies. But yeah, I add to it all the time, and I think there's one, I see one here starting to get a little root. Soon enough, once the roots get long, you can plant them in soil, and these babies grow like weeds when they're in soil. So you can have a never-ending supply of mints by propagating them in water. Definitely give this one a go. It is so awesome. My next hack, you can regrow your green onions in water. This is such an awesome little hack that I know a lot of people already know about, but there are some people who don't know about this yet. I used to be one of those people. But now every time I buy green onions, I'm always doing this so that I pretty much give my green onions a second life every time I buy them. These ones here, I've only had them in water for maybe 3 days tops, and they've already grown so much. I'm not sure if you can see this, but from here to here, this is how much it's grown in just a few days. They grow like weeds. And the roots, they get really long and kind of scraggly. So that's it. Super easy. Keep them in a jar of water on your countertop again and watch them grow. It's literally like magic. Have you ever bought a jar of nut or seed butter? You bring it home excited to use it, and then you see all this oil just floating on top of it, and it's a pain in the butt, right? Then you have to like stir it all, then you get all messy and the oil goes everywhere. Nobody likes that. So here's how you can fix that. As soon as you get it home, All you gotta do is flip her upside down and keep her in your cupboard for a day or two. What will happen is that all that oil is gonna reintegrate right inside the jar with the nut or seed butter, and you won't have that issue anymore. Then you just gotta pick it, shake it up a bit, or just give it a quick stir. No mess, no fuss. You have delicious nut or seed butter ready to go at your fingertips, but hopefully not on your fingertips. If you have been wondering how on earth you could ever get something to taste like eggs without it actually being eggs, then you need to try this stuff. It's called kala namak, also known as black salt, highly used in Indian cooking and cuisine. What it is, it's a slightly less salty salt that tastes like eggs. It has a kind of a sulfuric, pungent smell and flavor that honestly makes anything taste eggy. It's amazing. It's probably the most popular vegan hack out there. If you haven't tried it, you definitely got to get yourself some of this. It's awesome. And also kind of a sub tip, if you're making yourself some tofu scramble and you want it to also look a little more eggy, just add a little bit of turmeric to the scrambled tofu. It kind of gives it that yellowish hue, which, you know, makes it look like eggs. This makes it taste like eggs. It's like eating eggs. Depending where you are in the world, you might be able to find some sort of blend, some seasoning blend that is for tofu to make it taste like eggs. I actually have one. It's by Shani Seasoning. It's a local Vancouver brand here. I love it. It is great. It has not only just black salt, but it has some like nutritional yeast and turmeric, black pepper. It definitely does the job. I love it. But honestly, if you can't find a blend like this in your local supermarkets, this stuff, kala namak, will definitely do the trick, and you won't need anything else other than this and maybe a little bit of turmeric. There you go, kala namak. Make yourself a really easy non-dairy whipped cream using a can of coconut milk. This is so easy. All you have to do is leave it in the fridge overnight so that the coconut cream separates from the liquid, which will then be like solidified, so you can easily scoop it out, and using a stand mixer or a hand blender, just whip it up with a little bit of vanilla and maple syrup, and you have a 3-ingredient, super simple whipped cream. Seriously, I was totally blown away when I learned this hack. It also works with canned coconut cream as well. Coconut cream is just coconut milk with a slightly higher fat content, so it actually means that you'll get more coconut cream to work with out of the can when you're using specifically coconut cream. With coconut milk, you'll probably get about this much cream, and then the rest will be liquid, which you can use for cooking as well. You can save the liquid and use it in other recipes or throw it in your smoothies or something. And there you go. 3-ingredient, super easy vegan whipped cream. Have you ever bought one of those giant 5-pound bags of carrots thinking, I'm totally gonna use these in the next week, and then you don't, and then they go all rotten, and you're like, damn, why did I do that? With this next tip, you'll never have to worry about throwing out excess carrots. Instead, put them in containers of water. Seriously, this is an amazing hack, and I have been doing this for years now. What it does is it keeps your carrots fresh and crunchy for weeks. I've had these carrots in this container here, I would say for just over 2 weeks actually, and they're perfectly fine. I usually recommend changing the water at least once a week, but I actually forgot, and I just checked, and they're fine. The water's fine, it's maybe a little orange, but they're great. These carrots are still totally crunchy. They have like no bend to them, and they're great to eat. You don't even have to wash your carrots beforehand. You can simply just plop them in as is right when you buy them into a container. All you have to do is make sure that the carrots are submerged in water. That's how they will stay fresher for longer. I actually have two containers of carrots. I don't know why I have so many carrots. I guess I just haven't been in the mood for carrots, so I have nothing to worry about though, because I know that all of these are gonna stay fresh for weeks and weeks, and once the inspiration finally hits me to start cooking with them, I'll have lots of fresh carrots to use. Have you ever bought a can of Chipotle peppers in adobo sauce like this one? Use the one pepper that the recipe called for and are like, damn, what am I gonna do with the rest of these peppers? Well, what you can do instead of throwing them out and letting them go moldy in your fridge is put them in an ice cube tray. Super simple. All you gotta do is individually portion out 1 pepper per ice cube tray, or you could just chop up the rest of the peppers in the can and then just put, you know, like a teaspoon or however much you would normally use per recipe in individual ice cube squares, and then just top it off with a little bit of oil. And the oil will freeze along with the peppers so that next time you want to add some spice to your cooking, plop one of these frozen pepper cubes into your saucepan and Bob's your uncle. My next hack, freeze your veggie scraps to make your own delicious veggie broth. Guys, seriously, if there is one hack that you just need to try, it's this one. Making your own veggie broth is so much more flavorful and way cheaper than the stuff you'd buy in a grocery store. I use everything from onion and garlic peels, like the whole outer skin, because they definitely have flavor. I would just maybe rinse them off a little bit before you add them to your bag. Wilted herbs, garlic cloves that are maybe a little squishy. What else is in here? I got carrot peel, lots of onion in here, onion scraps. I got zucchini in here. I got bell pepper cores, asparagus stems. That's nice. Tomatoes, like that were going a little too ripe for my liking. Yeah, so much stuff in here. This provides so much variation in flavor, and you can add a little bit of fresh veggies to your broth if you want. Like if you want to add onion, oil, scraps, water, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, maybe a bay leaf or two, and let it simmer on your pot for up to an hour, and it's done. You have your own veggie broth. It's practically free. You're giving your veggie scraps a second life. Tastes amazing. And who doesn't love free things that taste amazing? So make yourself veggie scrap broth. Next time you're making tacos, use romaine lettuce. This stuff is great for lettuce wraps, tacos. They're like nature's shells, and you can just stuff with all of your fixins. Seriously, I wish I had started doing this sooner. Now, I know like lettuce wraps are already a thing that pretty much the whole world knows about, but you don't have to wait to go to a restaurant to do this. You can make your own fancy lettuce wraps or tacos or whatever you want to call them with romaine lettuce. This stuff is so good for you. It has a lot of nutrients, very hydrating. It's a very underrated little vegetable that deserves more credit and needs to be utilized more often in the kitchen. So next time you're thinking about making yourself some tacos or wraps, use romaine lettuce. And you can use more than one as well. If you want to like combine them together, well, this one's a bit sad looking, but if you want to kind of put one on the bottom, one on the top, then you really could make yourself a lovely little burrito. Plus, if you're, you know, trying to cut back a few calories, this is a great low calorie lunch idea. So there you go, lettuce for tacos and wraps. This one is for all you frozen fruit and veggie lovers. I am here to salute the frozen. Seriously, these don't get enough credit, and I feel like people look down on frozen fruits and veggies as lesser than, you know, fresh fruits and veggies, which, I mean, I get. I kind of used to subscribe to that idea, but really, frozen fruits and vegetables are really just as fresh as their fresh counterparts. They're purposefully picked at their peak ripeness so that they haven't lost any nutrition when they go to the freezers. So I personally use frozen broccoli quite a lot. I just find that it's great to add to stir fries, or when I want to just steam something really quickly for a quick dinner, I will use frozen broccoli. I add them to smoothies as well because, you know, extra health and nutrition is always good. Same with fresh fruit. I am a huge fan of frozen mangoes and strawberries and pineapples. Those are the three that we use most at home, mostly for smoothies, but honestly, they're great for so many other reasons too. If you make a chia pudding, you can use frozen fruit. You don't necessarily have to wait until it's thawed out to use it as well. Summertime is hot, and sometimes just literally I'll have like a bowl of frozen fruit just because it's refreshing and delicious, and if I don't have anything fresh on hand, why not have frozen? It's just as good. Again, I feel like it's underappreciated, and I feel that the world needs to show frozen fruits and veggies a little more love. So there you have it. Eat your frozen fruits and vegetables. They're just as good for you. And there you have it, you guys, my top vegan food / kitchen hacks for you. I hope that you liked it. I hope that this video was useful to you and that maybe you learned something that you didn't know before. If not, well, maybe you could share it with a friend who's new to eating plant-based. It might help them and give them some tips they didn't know about before. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I post new content every week. I'm coming out with new recipes, FAQ style videos, grocery hauls. I've got loads of stuff in the pipeline ready to hit the channel so soon. I don't want you guys to miss out on anything awesome, so hit that subscribe button. Thanks again for watching, you guys. I really appreciate all the views, the likes, the love, and that's all. I hope you have an awesome day, and I'll be seeing you soon in another video. Bye!